Folks, there is an earthquake story today, but it's not about a scary magnitude event. Not only are we dipping in magnitude worldwide here between the earthquake warnings, but the Americas stole the show while the much more active Western Pacific went virtually silent over the last 24 hours. Highly unusual. India, dealing with more isolated deluges. It happened so quickly in this part of the world. 13 dead in Hyderabad after the rains turned the streets into roaring rivers. First up in the articles is space debris. ESA continues their look at the increasing density of human-made material above our heads. The curve is parabolic in terms of that material up there. It is expected to continue that curve, and of note. Folks, the light and dark green are anomalous and unknown events that cause debris. I happen to think those are the same thing, and they're almost certainly going to be largely electrical. We're going to do 3 cosmology updates next, 2 problems and a solution. First is another run at Axions that comes up empty-handed. That is 0 for 2 for this group. The wild galaxy with 99.99% dark matter has been figured out, finally. It actually doesn't have so much dark matter. A nice little, oh, never mind, from those guys. In the realm of the real, we've got a group of plasma physicists who appear to be nailing it here. Turns out, you just have to focus on the current and charge density, and you can work out much simpler and more accurate astrophysical plasma modeling, and only 40 years after Alfvén and Peratt said the same thing. Up next is a wild one, and one for the imagination. They say they're pretty sure the Sun and the whole solar system formed near the central galactic bulge, and then migrated all the way out to its current position, causing snowball Earth disasters as we cross the spiral arms of the galaxy. Interesting that this mechanism of the spiral arm crossing is the rarer and more extreme version of the Ice Age trigger of the material in the more frequent galactic current sheet crossings. But enough about space. We're coming back down to this tomshillery of an article from a treasure of a human being here, claiming we absolutely must stop ozone-destroying pollution because of how big the ozone hole is this year in Antarctica. Seems he forgot that it was near record low marks last year, and the fluctuations annually are not to the tunes of chemistry curves, but to that of the magnetic field. The space weather and state of the field is what's largely determining the polar ozone content, and with the field weakening, we see one of the expected effects manifest and promptly get blamed on humans. They say the dust content in the atmosphere of the central U.S. is growing by 5% per year, similar to agricultural trends. This is a trend that we have predicted as the atmospheric electricity has been increasing due to the failing field. Veteran observers should remember the numerous articles on atmospheric electricity lifting the dust more and more as we enter this shift. For now, we've got to watch them blame us for another one. Now, last but not least, a Darwin theory fatally flawed. Uh-oh, cue 'em up. Joking aside, this is an incredible story because they linked what Darwin tried to identify to actually being part of the Ice Age cycle, which was not known during Darwin's time. And those atolls, the reefs, prove that the interglacial periods, which we are in now, only last for a short while before we are thrust back into ice and cold. Interesting proof on the atolls. Scary that we're overdue for that drop now. The sun is going to quiet back over the coming decades. Volcanic cooling can't stay at record lows here for much longer. The Beaufort Gyre is going to unleash and amplify the ice melt shutdown of oceanic heat transport. Welcome to the future.